friends, this is Jamie. I want to welcome you to my channel today. Hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. Today I thought I would do a video on how I shade pencils over a marker base. I did a video like this a long time ago, basically shading pencils over markers, and it was like a really popular video on my channel. I think I did it when my daughter was like 3 or something, or maybe she was 4, so it's been a long time because she's 8 now. And I was doing a page in this book, Misfits, a nautical coloring book, number 5 by White Stag. These are really cool books if you've never looked at them before. They're kind of quirky. They do seem a little dark, but you can use bright, vibrant colors to make it not so dark feeling, and they're really easy and fun to color. So yeah, I have a pirate hashtag going on right now. It's the Enchanting Year of Color. The theme is pirate for the month of July. And so I started a page, and you're more than welcome. If you have this book and you want to kind of color with me, you can. I started this page right here. And what I've done here is I've colored the entire thing. You can see that it's pretty much, I used, you know, browns and blues and yellows. You can tell there's a color palette thing going on here. And then of course there's red for that pop of color. Oh, she's such a cute puppy. My daughter's talking to me at the same time. But everything I've done here has been with the Arteza Everblend markers. They look like this. So I colored the entire thing just with just a single color, a marker. I didn't shade with marker. I didn't layer with marker. I didn't do anything except in the eyes. I did do a little blending. So that's the only place I did any kind of work with marker. And I wasn't sure if I was just going to leave this girl just like this. If I wanted to leave this girl like this, it'd be perfectly fine. And it would be fine and it would look cute and no big deal. But I usually like to go into a little more detail. I like to make it so my images don't look flat. And that's why I like to shade. You can shade with a variety of different mediums. You can shade with pencils, obviously colored pencils, or you can shade with crayons. You can also put, since this is alcohol marker, you could put Neocolor 2s on here. You could put watercolor pencils, because it shouldn't move if you put water on it because it's alcohol marker. And this has been dry for a day. So it's not like it's wet alcohol marker. And if you don't want to do none of those, you could just add gel pens to this and make it all glittery and fun and glittericious. You can also use acrylic paint pens. You could use gelatos on top of this, especially if you have iridescent or glitter or metallic gelato. You could put over the water, because then it would make it have a different feel to it. You could use nail polish if you wanted to glitter it up. You could use all sorts of different things, stickles, all those different things. And I do like to add glitz and glam, but that's usually after my shading process. But to shade today, I'm going to use colored pencils. But say your hands aren't the best and it hurts to use colored pencils, try using crayons. They're not as hard on your hands, and you can get a fun shading effect with those as well. You can get twistable crayons, and you can get standard crayons. If you want to know my recommendation for crayons, I recommend the twistable crayons.
Be in the video.
Honey, not today.
Aww.
the twistable crayons, sorry, I'm trying to think of what I'm talking about and then talk to my daughter at the same time. Multitasking, that's what I do. The twistable crayons, I love the Color in Motion crayons. I got those on Amazon. And then I like the Crayola twistable ones. Now, I will use a standard crayon, but for some reason the twistable crayons, they don't have as much debris. I've never tried a Neocolor one before, but I'm sure those are really good. And the Bic Kids crayons that are like $2, those are fabulous. So if you are looking to try crayon shading, now that back to school time is coming and you're buying school supplies and see those things out there, pick up some crayons. You might enjoy that. Today, though, I'm going to use pencils. Going on this crayon kick, now I'm going back to pencils. And the pencils that I am going to use to work on her are going to be my Polychromos pencils, because this is Amazon print paper, and Prismas don't always like Amazon paper. I have to work harder with my Prismas, it feels like. But with my Polychromos, because they're more oil-based, I feel I can get more of what I'm looking for on Amazon paper through Polychromos. I also really enjoy Black Widows on the Amazon paper, and the Schmierfarben pencils are really good as well. Yeah, the Artex is good. There's all these different ones you can use, but the ones that I'm going to use today are the Polychromos. So if you're wondering what pencils I'm using to do this, that is what I'm going to use. I'm going to zoom up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so I think I'm going to start off with like this red and white stocking and like this little scarf thing. So I'm just going to pull what I think will work. And when pulling colors, I usually like to pull something that, like a dark, like this red is going to be like my lightest color. So I pulled this one right here, which is this Caput Mortem Violet. It just looks like a very dark, almost brown color. And then this red that I pulled is the Middle Cadmium Red, because it's darker than what's on the page. That way I can give some depth. Now, if I wanted to add light to it, I could add like a pink tone, or if I wanted it more like a poppy red, I would add an orange tone. But I'm going to start off with just the shadowies. So, yeah. I hope you guys can see okay. So, since her leg kind of curves in, this will be the lighter section of her leg. So I'm going to put the darker pencil on the side, and I'm kind of using the circle technique a little bit. Feels dark in here. Hopefully that helps. Helps me a little bit. So yeah, I don't want to go all the way over. I'm just doing this side, and I'm leaving this little bit on the edge to give some contrast. And then I switched to this one, the Middle Cadmium. I'm just going in circles. I'm going kind of over where the dark spots are, and then lightening up the pressure as I'm getting closer to the other side. So what I'm gonna do, let me see if I have I want to kind of show you what you can do with the light. So since this is the lighter side, I'm going to pull this one, I think, the dark chrome yellow, and I'm just going to use it just on the side here. Because if you can tell the difference here, and the nice thing about polychromos is you can layer them, and so if you feel like you need more color, you can add more color. What I did here is, this is the lightest part of the leg, and then right here is pretty much marker, and then I put in this color right here, and then I put in this color. And just to make this a little more crisp of a stocking, I'm going to add a line right there so you can see the line better. And if you wanted to, after you were done, you could add like a white highlight right here so that she had like a white highlight. You wouldn't want to do dash because you don't want to create like dashes down her leg, because that looks kind of weird. Like she's not a piece of paper where she's just you know, a dash leg. You want like a smooth stocking, so you would add one solid line if you were to add a white highlight. I don't think I'll do that because I want to just keep it simple. So this is what I would do with the red part. With the white part, I actually, when I colored that, I used this color. It was a cool gray. It's cool gray 08. So it's practically, it looks almost white, but there's just a little hint of color there, because this is white. I haven't colored that. That way it gives some type of coloring. And to shade that, you could go two different routes. You could go shading with blue tones if you wanted to, or you could shade with gray tones. If you shade with gray tones, it's going to give more of a natural landscapey type of dusty feel. If you go blue tones, it's going to be a little more, you know, water-ish, you know, type of feel. It's not warm tones because blue is a cool color. But if you want to go for more of a warm look, since it's next to the red, I highly suggest doing warm gray or French gray if you're using Prismas. I think I got warm gray and okay, I have warm gray 3 and 4. So since we've got the pants, the end of the pants right here, I'm just going to go underneath the pants. I don't know if you can see that very good, but so you go, I'm going underneath the pant leg. This is the darker color, and then I'm not going all the way to the edge there. I'm going where they've left a line and shading there. And then I'm taking the warm gray 3, and then I'm building off of the dark shadow, because we want to, because pirates aren't clean, so their stockings wouldn't be white. So we want it to be kind of grungy. And I think I'm going to pull my warm gray 1 just to go all the way over. So I'm taking my darker 1 again, just trying to crisp up some lines here. But as you can see, it's made it, I don't want this to be shiny, but it's made it so that it gives you the idea that there is a leg under that stocking. Let me do this next one down. Keeping in mind we want this to be the lightest area. I'm not pressing too hard. Just a light. And I'm not like I don't know everything. I'm not like a professional artist. I'm just showing you what works for me, and I thought, you know what, this would be perfect. I was planning on doing this anyway on this picture, and hadn't done a video like this in a long time, and I have had the feeling that I needed to do something like this again. So I'm just switching back and forth until I feel like it's good. And I think it's almost there. See, I'm not doing too much work. If this wasn't a marker base, I would have to color the entire thing, because it would be, you know, just the plain page. So this actually saves on your pencils, and this saves on your hands. If you want to make this white area even whiter, I'm going to take my white pencil. Polychromos is what I have. But if you have the Prisma white, I think the Prisma white makes things pop more. I'm just going to go on the edge here and bring it in just to make that edge a little whiter. Because I still want the gloominess, but I want my edging to be a little whiter. That makes sense. And you can do it on this edge if you want, on the red. So yeah, that's kind of a shading technique there on the scarf, or not the scarf, the legging. And I'm gonna do a little bit on this part because there's folds, and that way you can kind of see how I would do it in folds. So where there's a fold, you're gonna have a dark area. And right here, there would be a dark area. Down here, there'd be a dark area. And it kind of is squinching towards the center, so this area is going to be darker than this area. And I don't have like a real light source. I'm just doing what I think works. Like the things that would be out away from the body would be more dark, I would think. I tend to use the warm grays more than the cool grays because I think I'm more of a warm colorer. Like I choose warm colors when I color. Even my blues don't seem very cold. So we've got that. Then we'll do some red. And the red, we need to crisp up that edge. Let me darker on that side because that's where it's gone in. We're going to take this middle color. And then we'll take our light color right here. Do this side too. I don't do color and chats very often. It's not because I don't want to, it's because finding the time to record is very seldom, and so it makes it a little tricky sometimes to find the time to record. Can add a little bit of white right there, and right here. There. See how we've got, it's kind of shiny because of my light, but you can see the difference between shading and the flat, shading and the flat. You can definitely tell. It's not like drastic, but it's just enough that it pulls it away from the page and gives it almost like life. In my opinion. There, she's got her arm right here, so that's gonna create a little bit of a shadow. But I don't want to color the whole thing gray because then it won't look white. Like it's the white spot, you know? And when you're shading, go back into what you previously shaded with the darker. That way it creates more of a layering technique. You can do that with Prismas or regular polychromos, Spiritfarbens, Black Widows, whatever, colors. So that's what I have. I might turn off my light so you guys can see without the shine how it shadowed these things and how easy it was to achieve this with just some pencils and marker base. I hope you guys found this video useful, and if you have this page and want to color this page with me for the pirate hashtag Enchanting Year of Color for the month of July, go right ahead. I am not going to stress about doing slideshows for the Enchanting Year of Color every single month because I tend to, somehow I'm missing people's pictures, and I feel bad when I can't get everyone's picture in the slideshow. So I don't know, I didn't do it for last month for Forest, the slideshow, and obviously I haven't done it for this month yet. I'm thinking I might hold off and do slideshows. Maybe I will, I don't know, maybe I will just go through all of the pictures through a recording, maybe at the end of the year, from the beginning to the end, and we'll just kind of go through with my screen recorded, and I'll just go through the pictures so you guys can see, and I can talk about, you know, pictures. Or maybe, I don't know, slideshows are really hard because it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of memory on my phone to get all that information, and I don't have a laptop up and running, so maybe I'll just hold off on slideshows for the minute. But I do appreciate everybody that participates in the hashtags, and I try to comment on all of your pictures and at least put a heart on it. If I haven't commented, it's because I just haven't had time, but if I have a chance, I will definitely put a heart on there because I do appreciate your support, and definitely coloring with me on my hashtags. And if you want to see me do color and chats, please let me know, and I'll try to make at least one a month. if I can. Now that the kids are going to go back to school, I should be able to at least do one a month. Yeah, but this is basically pencil over marker. And I just do this little bit because I didn't want the video to be too long, but I wanted to give you guys a little idea of how I shade over marker. Hold on, honey. And if you guys are curious about this book, I'll put the link in the description for this coloring book. And if you have any other comments, let me know. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching.
Look.